Hello and welcome to the Law Lab YouTube channel. Here we dissect and unpack everything legal. My name remains Aaron Asiedu Entry. Today I'm extremely happy and privileged to sit with a gentleman of all standard, one I've been watching from my infancy till now. This evening we sit with the Honorable, in fact he's been a member of parliament, a fourth-term member of parliament for the good people of Abuakwa South, and also a former minister of state in charge of the Works and Housing Ministry. Also, he's been a legal practitioner, and I believe that every law student loves him and wish to be like him one day. Today, I'm privileged to sit with the Honorable Samuel Atta Akyea. Sir, welcome to the Law Lab.
I'm grateful. Thanks for the privilege.
Sure.
The honor of coming here.
Very well. Most of the times when I sit like this on the Law Lab, I just bring my constitution.
Yes.
And you see how I have solitaped it to the meaning I've been using it. But today I'm having a Bible.
Yes.
The English version and the Tree version because of you. I'm sure today I'm going to receive a lot of quotations from the Bible referencing it and others. So before we proceed, I would endeavor you or implore that you like, subscribe, and comment. Share it to a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend that the Honorable Samuel Atta Akyea is sitting with us this evening to have a conversation with us. And today we'll be looking at about 3 critical areas. We are looking at oral. All the things we are looking at today are bordered on legality. So we'll be looking at oral. We look at the aegis actions on Nolle Prosequi and also withdrawals, and we will end with a conversation on the revocation of appointments that was issued by the Chief of Staff, the Honorable Julius Debra, to actually revoke all appointment that was made after the 7th of December general election. Generally, it has caused a lot of fear and panic within the system, as the MPP, MPs and others are also saying that right after the MPP assumes power, they are going to reinstate the people and actually pay them their back pays amongst others. So today, these are the 3 things we are looking at. But this video is proudly sponsored by Nkumera. You would certainly see a flyer on the screen, and you can contact her for any assorted food you want. So say welcome back again.
My pleasure.
Sorry.
My pleasure.
Today we are looking at both Tree and English. So
okay.
where it fits in, we put in. But how is life after Parliament?
It's restful.
Really?
Yes, you don't have this perennial queue, as I call it.
Perennial?
Yes, because it doesn't stop.
But certainly, Atta Akyea would still be in that position that people will be walking up to you to be putting up their issues, school fees, and
it's not measured and it's contained. It's not like when we're a member of parliament and it becomes like, you owe the constituency a duty to bankroll their poverty.
Okay.
Now, it's not like that. It's like you can rest, then you can have some space for your own self. So I think it's very restful. I've come back to my original career, a lawyer, and I'm the head of the chambers, looking after a lot of serious work, trying to shepherd genius onto good works, and then also doing some church business as well. So I'm excited that I'm trying to unwind, as you call it.
But you see, Honorable, the problem with members of Parliament receiving a lot of queues, is it the case that we have now moved from or departed from the main objective of an MP being a legislator, making laws, and you must campaign on that. That's me MP. But you end up promising a lot, so the queues should be acceptable.
Well, I don't think any serious member of parliament will tell a crowd, now when I become the MP, I'll bankroll your poverty.
Wow.
Let's get it right.
Okay.
You say MP no common fund kakra e wo na feature ho. It nearby my pa na community here. You should say sika no ebe boedom. Ya ka say ne wo koto obedin no. What you say? Or the betakre MP. And I say efu mi kura wunim. Eso ko bon so and I say wo koto fundaka bo obi. It's right now no say public service no. I feel the descend akofem kura ma akoye private commitments.
Okay.
And now I told mommy and tears a kakra. Meaning is a BBA no because on the end of the year. I was going to say, oh, yeah, po. And to be a fan kura be bom sebi na nsada. I don't think so net yet. But yeah kasa no politics na yeah no. I don't na wo do anim a we member of parliament. Bia no wan yanti ase bi so as you say we as your be nyina so ade so ama. I don't know share against you being in the deliberative chamber doing parliamentary as because I believe that is an intellectual work. And even if you are not too strong, you can learn. But there's a more serious challenge of obi so call the constituency.
Sure.
A Friday no call. Okrasika they say 140,000 Ghana cedis. What you say? Now odu ho na fi oba no so obo be say answer no aba there. And now you're for that Christmas.
I see. MPs are really going through.
Oh, MP humanity there won't you see how be brave.
Okay.
If you measure a near ma obenya film as against a near ma also overspend here. One share for 40 years, you'll be too on for. No what time, baby. Half the time, only politics all outside. You could pay sick money be too be. Maybe not there. Only to come and realize, they've come to inherit trouble.
See, I did my service with the Honorable John Osei-Frimpong.
Yes.
I stayed in the chamber for 1.5 years. Met the whole can answer perfectly. But people who are outside the box may not understand. Me personally, working with Osei-Frimpong, I get to know that after general election, you have a free period for like 6-7 months. Atta Akyea album for polling station. When you are done with polling station, you are burdened with constituency election. When you are done with constituency election, assembly election, men from one region and national assembly election, or you must participate. In as much as we see that assembly and the major key thing after assembly who free assembly you are going to think about one Kasawo primaries, then coming again to general election. But my problem is that the is way little as compared to the Ephraim Munchenko. But you are still contesting again, a lot of them.
Because of ignorance. One thing I mean, ignorance, they say, okay. Who say a prestigious. Understand? Fine. Who sending for a believe say and no entitlement be. That's a way number said what your entitlement.
Okay.
So why you know who are now adwuma bi na wura mu a
okay
what you say who be hint them every say untumi nsom dom what kwatene kwa enti asese onso mu ye du kakra ansa na bi abe attempt say wone Atta Akyea na adwuma bi ye bibubra ansa enye the first time I make parliament mama to brand new car babu mi bra
okay
enti me a man of some consequence ansa na makohie dom say meboa.
Right.
That's all he with the office school, a national service, baby, Ufri Mufi, Obi so do a cheap because every grand now the particular MP in the way he or to obey so has him wabi to know. So won't create Duma obey. That's a Jamaica say, Ufri Moa was a Oberepa. But she have be MPs for now. 777, no one near you may be I over. I feel no dying MPs now, woman so. And then we can the Moa, with me about boy kakra.
Wow.
That's how I say it. And yet, America say, Obeka so, and before we believe it's only the epitome of knowledge. It won't be block others from coming in. No.
Wow. Right. But I think this parliament in common, I see a shed up brain, I think the member of parliament for Prayoso constituency, David Opoku Ansah, made a statement on attrition rate at our parliament because the conversation keeps back and forth. We will be abontia. The Pesca Kutu before Bones say we are losing the quality and others. I think it should be a whole discussion.
It's a whole discussion.
Let's move on to our first topic. Every political party be a coalition. It's a strike. You'll be making promises. And mostly, you see, I always believe that the voter is a critical person in that particular circumstance. Anyone can sway his mind due to naturally, when you are in government, there is so much pressure on you. Because people are expecting a lot on it can be interpreted in so many ways. So the NDC campaigning in 2024 measured or hammered on Operation Recover or Loot, presupposing that government appointees and government officials are looting the state. And looting the enemy say I would come to a conclusion that Obi Lutia, that person should be taken on by the law.
Precisely.
Yes. And you see, President Mahama won unprecedented. The victory now, the percentage, the number of MPs he's having in parliament is huge. It means he under the Fourth Republic that. And so you see, managing public sentiment about the government is problematic. My question on Ora is, he was not yet a president because he can only become a president after he's sworn in office on the 7th January of 2025, as stipulated by law. But prior to that, now he set out a committee to be receiving documents on corruption and alleged speculation of corruption and others. Do you think that that committee was legal? Or should we deem that committee like a certain committee of a flag bearer? Or a flag bearer of his party, because then he was not president. What is the legality of the oral committee?
Critically, we make us say glorify vigilantism. If we say, oh, maybe president, no need to me say, or say take upset committee. Oh, maybe president, we need to maybe as a certain committee.
Oh, how?
Because
the president cannot set out committee.
No, the president cannot set up a committee which will sort of virtually undermine investigative bodies na yedimono. And there ben na onwonya for who the Abuakwa betumi ehu about criminal investigation you couldn't be you have to answer that question. And there ben pa no ya DN9 twinya better. And there ben pa na CID etwinya better and say kofo ya omba mu so o hwe nkofo ne memu na ebinum nya akranka ye mireki war na obi anto adeyi. Because you say every criminal investigation, then submarine.
Okay, but my question here is that Finance Attorney General's office, Yoko, until I entered into the law school, had not entered the building of Yoko. Me mate be Yoko when I went with him answering of questions, and I got to know, oh, but this is a normal place. They are only assisting in uncovering all corruption related activities. But you see, the perception of Yoko, the perception of AG, the perception of CID, you don't think that it is best in the interest of the public that the president can set out a committee like ORA. We are presuming that ORA no cry no obedi mampeni no setting. Into or setting be a committee of that sort. You are still saying it's illegal.
It's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary, but not illegal.
It's illegal.
It's illegal.
Yes, because if somebody believes a to help investigations, maybe you just make an announcement that because of my, if you like, pontificating, say me fight corruption inti. Obi always say me tea obi no biya often ko CID. It will serve the same purpose.
But the perception is CID obi ko
other na we dey nyemu. We say what's the difference between so be call policeman or she police atade ho. Na be ko yoko no so she police atade ho. Na ba ko who the Abuakwa. What is so special about him on to charm the crowd? So make some channel. But all I get no also won't tea and near my supreme. Now feel crying, oh yeah, private investigation. Lawyer, before you saw for private investigation. But what will be cool for that? Say you are going to pursue loot. The prejudice cancels what you are doing.
But they are saying they are gathering alleged loot. No, they are mad. Attorney General.
Now when you say Oka alleged looter, what you are saying? It's defamatory of Onipa now person hand.
Wow.
Yes, because who knew what a loot is unless say your lawyer near 7. What the criminal practice I say? And Sunday bet take you will be a loot to a man. What you are saying? Now I call to them who.
But the loot is qualified with alleged.
Oh, I know that channel.
Oh yeah, assault.
And I know that channel.
What kind of case we to say Tubaville versus Salvage? There was a conditional statement. Or say if it has not been a season time.
And then maybe I want to invent alleged there. But that's not the acronym. The acronym never said alleged.
No, it said Operation Recover All Loot. Okay.
So and then I open some modify because when we go as I say, what the
modify na me say.
Yes.
What they are doing, they are only gathering data.
They are gathering nothing. exhibitionism. No person here no.
Wow.
How what are you gathering? What you say? And near ma we presuppose so okay and there assume say no wa ban mu no fa and say asen wotwe. What you say? And now believe say obi afansa asen wotwe a. Oh what me aka to say munim mo civic rights amon ko see I na mo ko bon amane. Ye de yemam o believe so bi so afa and say 88 e wo ba bia ko hana ko bon amane. But aden na obi e yi krofo bi anim say na de on na ba bi and ade bi do kura cameras ni ade ne yakọ pale documents. So I feel the former auditor general or say women you know maso kind or say any man I compile no the strength is in the audit that the investigator would do.
So near no magada no more to say it has to be audited first.
So what is the point? Eti adena wagada no ehun ni mfaso I just said the FAPEM no the evidential support no. And for the train one say ya on evidential support ansa na ya create dossier ansa na ebikwa attorney general agi dossier na re oh ene me wo mu odu ansa na attorney general no making the up the minds because of ene ma on the share dossier mu emu odu se metwe the akokot enti ene ma na wo ye ni nyina me believe say obi kai populism apa say don mo ani je because ene ma wo ye nyina wo sia akase ye sa ko hwebiem. And now the
Deputy Attorney General now AG Diamano or share me constitutional law. Justice Shamsai, Dr. Justice.
Yes.
That's what you might because all the time who's receiving a prima facie case.
Sanity.
Oh, I see.
Americans are there now here and glorify vigilantism.
Okay.
Oh, you boy, near who's a yenny abrese and ne sabi and crophobia, yeah, court. In our own little brain said they have looted. Wow. Is that how the justice system is like? The rule of law, no any political platform, so the rule of law no court to them. What now because I now see where the money prove beyond reasonable doubt. But the charges no way. I feel my do so evidence no. Lawyer for you on chawa and one man there. I feel obi establish where we are. Not judging that everybody comfort. See yenya aban fufuro. Now you're turning the rule of law upside down. And 1992 to now, there's nothing that the loot, whatever group will be to me. I just only park on our own house here. Say, what would you come for the dano? It will be the court. Now, say that what say the deeds of a very so as soon as I am for say why part of the loot on your correct. The where do we stand?
Na ohineme musa ehun se oral committee no cameras media medio mechi e could be plot of land so fane se eyememe ero e na maba me plot of land so omo the report akoma AG ahwehwe mu nyina no AG say me hu so there's some remedies for me to take up against the committee. Why
obi a wasuan law a okura average intelligence bi o say if you are a friend, actually be defamation.
Okay.
You see, because I don't know a dominant no. Officer here, not the Crawford and never told cameras no. So in the court of public opinion, you condemn what say would
right.
And no Americans say you to your boy. Na yenya regime changer through the ballot box. Before beginning say okay, and then the yenya abo. Okay. Addition yesu every 1992 say, and yet we no go sit down make them cheaters every day soon somewhere. Rollins no who we are or some dichi say na the oba into a constitutional rule no what you say yes ya come back near the hey abebu mine emu awrem me hu say ade na all 30 year no hu amanfa so na o person o keep campaign promise say campaign promise na kwa person keep no is this situated in law if what we are doing is not situated in law then you are encouraging lawlessness.
I see. I think
Ura Obifi, Sabio, Obi Ose, and then Yakopo Abuano is the foreign affairs minister, the face of Ghana, the mirror of Ghana in foreign countries. Ura Hona, wild dogs, Castle Atta Akyea. Because you are a pathetic trespasser. You don't have a search warrant from appropriate authorities to enter somebody else's home.
On bury the crowns and Wako.
Maybe to one eye day. Maybe to one eye day. Who are we bailiff? Susu will go for her. Assassin will be afa. Will also be afa. And then classical body, what I say, a Kaya day, IMF Korano. Obi Kaya, Enu. Also say, nneɛma no shows say look to be in billions. So be have so say ade a okay unya mu 110 kwa no nyame na aboa.
But ohene on a moral argument ye free law no is it not the case say omonso boama saa nneɛma yi katasehye proye no etu etwa
ebe na etu betwa kataso hye katasehye no corruption ni ade no o say echubo exercise ana so na mo na we go gina platforms na cameras do achi na kofu kura wa ni ade oya kura wo kura na oya sa kura because na wo nyi say wo gusu nyi say
but the odona here does not negate so be the money
well and then the any osofo a o tu nkofo for say o nya say on young girls better no no participate there the moral right for the say man say to say what kasa we tainted
but you don't listen to the messenger you listen to the messenger
ha na ka kire o
messenger no hu
ha na ka kire o ebe na wo no a ho nya kronje no for beji word say you actually want to fight corruption or you want to cover your own.
I see.
How can you do that?
I see.
So maybe home for so you be your free and then you two you change of government as we have Ghana. Even if you have majority in parliament, you should rule by the constitution.
By the constitution.
The rule of law.
Yes.
I say give the devil his due. And if you will be accused person, they use the word advisedly. Nafe, the kwadu no bono no gina. He's not a convicted person. He's not a looter yet. Until the evidence should come to the conclusion, say, this evidence on every permutation beyond reasonable doubt, this guy, is now, a convict. Say ni bueno, and now all democratic, governments, we are seeing United States there, and Constitution over 200 years. The one who said the rule of law becomes the main parameter for development and human freedom. And yes, we cry only for them by reason of political razzmatazz. You see, and now political war songs rather than the rule of law and evidence. No, they could do be you go and find out. So at the end, it is
we last on oral, then we move to our second topic. She say oral report. Though a friend is a Rademolivo has made a public statement saying it needs to be audited. Said Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, now at least you recover some amount of money from it. Should the oral team not be commended?
Well, it was a useless thing. I'll keep telling you that. Why should they be commended for what? What is it that they've done so special? I see, now can say, oh, we are man, that's all the other thing, or the court to Attorney General. What if you find out, say, I do want now the court to Attorney General anymore? Excuse me to say, it's a multitude of suspicions. They have wasted the state's time by different people deploying their intellectual powers over nothing. So why can you talk about that? And who tells you say Attorney General SOB more immediately or so now the Pakora confess cabinet? It's only when the person is in the court. So it's a vicious cycle. And that person is in the court, and then it's very clear. Hey, Akyea do go. Okay, then you plea bargain and now that Sike woman on my day. So Attorney General at that threshold, you would be out to squeeze Sika if you go for.
Now, engineers will be to me the Nako, you taking it players be guilty. No, to answer.
Well, and they're fine.
Okay.
And also, Ajuma Ayea, and you know, you loot Ajuma. Since we started our criminal jurisprudence, it's always there.
Okay.
They've not done anything which they've not invented a win. A couple people are called my age share on the bar on the law. I call so age, send an Emma Quadia. The person be 2 years Canada because so commit me at 2 years. Then we discontinue prosecution and they pay. Several things have happened like that. So what is special about this one? Apart from the razzmatazz, political noise, glorified vigilantes, and then I feel you baby they require to trust them. And the to trust them should not be associated with this constitution. Sure.
Oh, Henry, so that is it for oral. I want us to look at our second topic, which is on the AG's actions. Personally, I like this AG so much because I read a case between Margaret Banfo and Henry Nana Abuakwa. Nana Abuakwa is the MPP's organizer now, as against the AG and Minister of Interior on this Guantanamo Bay cases. On all fours, it was against the AG. Even the case he lost. But when I read his arguments, you could clearly see an intelligent person trying to defend the state, though in that particular circumstance, we are a law student, we are what kind Article 75, in fact, after 73, 74, 75, would understand that Ghana is a dualist country. And some of these things, you need to seek the approval, the ratification of Parliament. He did well. I liked him from that point. Now he takes office as AG. And he's exercising his powers under Section 54 and Section 59 of the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act, at 30. And 54 talking about Nolle Prosequi and 59 on withdrawal of cases. Many problem, but you see, the perception is that the withdrawal and Nolle Prosequi is tilted to members known as the NDC members who were pursued by the former Attorney General, Ayea, Gloria Kufu, and Godfrey Adamo. Now, in some of the cases, I want us to settle on about, I think with withdrawal, if you read Section 59 clearly well, it says that at the point AG prosecution closing the case, say file withdrawal, it amounts to acquittal.
Yeah.
So in the case of the former deputy governor, who is now a governor, he's technically acquitted him.
Yes.
Says he can be a presuppose na former AG kase where dia na say afanensa no no acquit no say the technicality of the withdrawal and everything. I am picking your thought on about two cases on the Nolle Prosequi. One is on Cassiel Atoforsen.
Yes.
And Irajapa. Omo case no. And that of Samuel Ofusuampo. In these two cases, I will pick your case on the Collins down that one, and I think we will delve much into it because NDC lawyers I believe that you will take the opportunity to explain to us. On Cassiel Atoforsen, the Minister of Finance and Jakpa, who happens to be currently, I'm told, the Director of Special Operations at the National Security Office, and also Samuel Ofusuampo, former National Chairman, currently an advisor at the Office of the Vice President. The AG is saying he was involved as a lawyer in the case, probably not directly because he was giving advice to his junior, who happens to be the CEO of MPA now, Godwin Kujo Tamaklo, popularly known as a Duji. No money advice. So based on his principled position of his professional and ethical conduct, he doesn't believe that it is wise for him to continue that case. That is why we're filing Nolle Prosequi. My question is, Enti Yera Ayini, 20 years at the bar, the thousands of who are often in same as his client. Is it the case that any AG can actually, based on this reason, and say that, oh, now my client, say videographer, my client, Manaf, my client, Muntala, Nasemaba. But because I'm not being a lawyer, I'm not going to pursue you. You think that is right and fair?
Well, any kind Obodi say Doctor, Honorable Doctor Ayeni, or a lawyer, Papa.
Yes.
Or a teacher of the law.
Yes. I think one of the times, and I'm mentioned on news file, he mentioned something that in this country, it's a public international law, top notch.
Okay, fine. Whatever it is.
And I've read a lot.
So he's not just a lawyer, but he's a teacher of the law. It's in the new DNA, at a take and conform one by lawyer for.
Sure.
Say, obey a lawyer, papa, only politics in frame. If we say, may catch your playing because the office of the Attorney General, before we say a political office, no. An office of law, no more.
But politics near the end because may a lawyer ma odi. And then my age. My age, no. Also me pursue case now. Na me fighting the state.
And just an American, me say. So by Attorney General, I was say obey politics, obey report. If you say office now, then your political office. A legal office.
But I want to understand the politics in it.
What politics? Now make us say, oh, the politics no good law, no more berry. And you been our way bay. I make sure I say. And then when you be as some of kind, Crawford crash 777. Minimum power, minute to say.
Wow.
Let me actual books are. And man, they all palm, they are miss books out the man.
Wow.
And then what is so Rebecca say, oh, only be. And but I know now, many Attorney General, the bois will be emo put together a brief say the be I be prosecute to be it me kwa the man kwa go gina de nani the boano in the defense and ampo wa na Ayea and na odipa ko na ba say say me say the case yan to aso ana ni ebeba wo ho atepa ne say sa de obetu dwa say by reason of my previous involvement in the case no my CD case no ama me deputy attorney general who was never involved in the case.
But the deputy attorney general, he is the main attorney general and the boss.
No.
So he will take
No, he will not touch it. He said, and I said, who disclose who previous interest. No, say, because of that, I've washed my hands of this case. And I want the friends, the deputy attorney general to handle that case. Because immediately you make your private matters superior to the public good. That one to office now say. It was right now, if what is involved, no, what you say, may hear the tentatively, I get $10 million and they involve. Would you say, by reason of your private involvement in the matter, the states you lose $10 million and you brought the case to an end?
But
would you say that?
Let's understand Dr. Ayea from a context. Nolle Prosequi Withdrawals. The requirement say it must be in writing to the court. Yes. It doesn't need to give any further explanation or filing our filing. But this is the first time we are seeing an attorney general filing Nolle Prosequi Withdrawals, giving reasons in public. You think we shouldn't commend him on that? And he also saying that, Madeli in this case, Adia Mimejidi se nipa nenye no, enemabeye age no, opese meka say, Waya say, are you saying that he's also trying to personalize the office?
It is a personalized thing. Because it is not your personal view of the law when you were doing the defense, which will hold sway in the courtroom.
Wow.
So therefore you can stand back. What if your personal views were wrong? And the law no what they are now. So you take a defense stand as a lawyer for the accused persons. Fine. But ultimately no, the people who determine whether what you propose or your submissions will hold sway, it's not you. It's a court of competent jurisdiction. So why do you want to come to conclusions? So because of the fact that I've had a stint with this particular case in Timayimi. Because let me tell you what this thing actually means. You know, this thing actually means let me use a very flimsy private stint on this matter and enter Nolle Prosequi. How can you do that? How can you possibly do that? I am of the view say Adie no ye any day. O kan senka papa mu a and so ma reason. When you are one reason, no, he will be caught by 296 for people to question whether the reasons are.
Article 296 of the Constitution.
Well, BNO is open himself. Well, that is discretionary power of Nolle Prosequi. It's reasonable, it's capricious, it's fair. So all the factors are who to me impugn a decision on the ground of 296. No, he's opened himself up for people to go to the Supreme Court and say the conduct of the Attorney General in relation to the entry of Nolle Prosequi in these cases cannot be fair, it's unreasonable, and the rest of it. That's what it is.
Wow.
Before who say to me Nolle Prosequi, people do not want to question you about it. So if you didn't give any reasons, then how would you be questioned?
Okay.
But if you gave reasons, then you open yourself for questioning.
Okay. I'm trying to look at the second one, and I have a screenshot over here. I would want to share with you.
Yes.
On the case of Saglemi, the popular Saglemi case.
Yes.
On this Saglemi case, the AG is saying that he finds it wrong that other members of parliament, other ministers of state who took over from Collins Dawda also made further payments. And I'm trying to get this Facebook post by a senior lawyer of the NDC. He makes that Yauchumesi Ankra. Let me try and get it for you. He stated clearly, Yauchumesi Ankra. He stated it that you Samuel Atta Akyea made payment over $5 million to the Saglemi project. And so why are you not charged? Because it means that the Attorney General then he says the evidence shows that Honorable Atta Akyea made payment over $5 million towards Saglemi projects in the same manner as Honorable Collins Dauda did. Yet Mr. Dami says one caused loss and misapplied public property, but the other did not for doing same. So he is saying that
no discontinue. So now he has a superior understanding. But you know, you can amend your charge.
Okay.
So now as in fact, we want to now bring in Honorable Atta Akyea as a fifth accused person because on those what a friend saying are you then saying if somebody paid money, which is a loss to the state, you should go free because somebody was not joined to the criminal trial? It's illogical. It doesn't make sense.
Wow.
Because who know afraid what we say, as I said, we they are buying the water, the bobano. Now you am for touching amemono. Me ya from amemono. That's it. Wish away what the AG believes is a criminality against Collins Dauda. But let me explain. AG no want to say.
But he is saying that same manner Collins Dauda paid.
It is not true. It is not true. Collins Dauda's manner. They should go and read the charge sheet.
Okay.
Collins Dauda's manner, no. Although there are no persons are debated because officer of first member. Let me tell you something. All call parliament, you know, the team has a time. They went for an approval, say, Saglemi project, you know. All fact, a friend said 200 million, 85,000 housing units. Or he clearly. So parliament approved it, and then the project was going to be rolled out on 200 million. For 5,000 units. Then Collins Dauda assumes office. You know what he did? Collins Dauda now says that I won't go to parliament again. I will downsize the project. Listen carefully. So he downsized the project from 5,000 housing units. Not the best of 1,000 something. At the same price.
1,500.
Yes.
That is what is being built.
At the same price.
Okay.
That is to say, then you shortchange the nation by you downsizing the project, but then giving more money to the contractor.
Okay.
How can it be equal to Sobekase Obi 5 million? But let me tell you something. If they pay regard to the case, I didn't sign for any payment. That is why Zeppelin was charged.
So you are saying you didn't pay any 5 million?
At all.
At all.
At all.
But who paid?
It is Zeppelin, and then there is a man called Asola Fadola. They were all chief directors of friends saying.
He paid without your notice.
Without my knowledge.
But how is that possible?
But don't you know people take Jubilee House letterhead and sign to places say the president has sacked you, but the president doesn't know anything.
Really?
Oh, you don't know?
Okay, but the president sacking someone should have some clear sort of communication.
Yes. And if somebody uses the green letterhead for mischief at the blind side of the president, how can you say it is the president who authorized that they should go and sign for those kind of mischief? So, and that is why.
So when you saw the mischief, what happened? What did you do?
I referred it to the police.
Okay.
You think I joked? Do you know who is the harbinger of this Saglemi investigation?
Harbinger, they said no. They would trim na viewers.
Yeah. Or this Saglemi no buy. I'm telling
one of the buy.
Yes, me na me better now as a minister, and I saw through this monumental criminality. And now, before President Amani, Mr. Cabinet name is here. And I mean, me and many, and all the papers from a Bank of Ghana and the money spent in me na me kofa buy. Mr. me kofa Ghana Institutional Surveyors. So mo kohwe project no wo Saglemi. Now mo measure whether it's commensurate with the monies they've taken. And the report came so Ghana has been shortchanged terribly. So when you put it together and with the approval of the president. It was sent to the CID headquarters, and that's how it started. So when I've not paid a coin, there's no signature of mine showing I've paid a coin. And somebody goes to downsize the project. Oh, project in even for 200 million and yeah, now we see 5,000. So they remember me parliamentary approval. Now me remember what you 1,500. No why for 1,500. Is the government not shortchanged by the difference of houses?
About
so go and read the chart and say, obi TI, obi I can say, oh, 200 million, and then you know, all 100, you know. The fact that you downsize the project and let the money remain will give money to the contractor free of charge, because by the mechanism on the core parliament, and by the measurement, not for 200 million, it's 5,000. So now people are looking for equalization, and it's very disgraceful. So to say, so okay, and Atta Akyea answer to 5 million. Atta Akyea charge no, and then you charge a friend saying Collins that, and ye nya Collins that. I don't know one Atta Akyea ma. Atta Akyea bua ma loot na ba. I don't know fata onyo ani Atta Akyea.
Na you joining while you are ready to answer.
Uradi Nyankopon na fu se court you through court no. And as I said, there's a regime change here.
Maybe catch the deputy minister said the court is not a slaughterhouse.
Oh, and then is so. Collins that the one lawyer. Commissioner for lawyer. You must say
catch your lawyer.
I don't have a lawyer. You never follow lawyers, and I'll show you the signatures.
Okay.
I mean, you never together.
You can't defend yourself, but a lawyer. And that's how mood.
That is how you do it.
Okay.
So that I don't mix emotions with the law.
Okay.
Now when you're a lawyer, I want being to say no. Now say I'm okay. One first signature and chere, maybe attaching a sign. I just some down no.
Or position they say one sign here, contrary to what Yauchumesi Ankra, a senior lawyer is saying.
It's a powerful falsehood. Or say Atta Akyea and authorize the payment now on show by documentary evidence. Ecophobia believe who say, yeah, now one know they already swap, one know a day in truth. What I say, if you look at our own moje, I'm tempted to tell you, say, Honorable Attorney General or Tony Boise, every docket now. Oh, Atta Akyea pay 5 million. Can you show me the evidential support that you pay 5 million? Because no. Oh yeah. Before we hear the blind side, the blame and a soul of Asola. Oh me no, and also okay. Ombe use one's prosecution with them. No, what charge back? How does Atta Akyea come in? The minister who, excuse me to say, put together the dossier. I feel the minister
but let me ask this one. A bad ministry, sir. Minister ne committed the state to a contract and a chief director.
Of course,
minister ne sign a contract.
And there's no chief director who can bind the government over. So when you take a serious government contract, you see the government of Ghana acting per the minister for finance. The government of Ghana acting per the minister for railways.
Okay.
The government of Ghana acting per the minister of foreign affairs, and not per the chief director. So therefore, certificates now think of it is the minister who should write.
Okay.
That they brought me this certificate. It relates to this project which has been signed. None of the contracts were signed by chief director. The main contract was signed by E.T. Mensah.
Okay.
Why didn't the chief director sign? It went to a parliament because you, the minister, have to defend the project or the chief director.
Wow.
And it's all there, black and white. So why would they want to ignore what is black and white and they want to do political equalization, want to rope me in? I mean, are you reading? Where you are supposed to sit and decide the fate of others. That's how you're crunching on. And yet your boy be, if it is somebody's pleasure, say, Munya and Crawford, how they sign keke. Like I say, I've entered Nolle Prosequi, they should go. But if you begin to proffer views, and people will begin to challenge you, and you will be challenged soon. It's unfortunate.
Wow.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
So that is it for our second one. I think you have been so much clear on your position on this, which you disagree with the AG's action and also on Saglemini. You are also advising, say one anka presume say what you are. Yes, because you are ready to.
Yes, as I say, young one. What do I say? As I say, young one say, Neddy, friends say, Dami, only Atta Akyea, only MPP, and then Yato Abami a Pia MPP call, and Atta Akyea, and I go find about 10 way. I said, there's a way,
when I'm right.
I feel the other like okay, Uja Nipa, if you say, Dami Atta Akyea, it doesn't make moral sense. I have to tell you this.
I see. On our third and final topic for today. I believe it's a subsequent times, you know, some be your office, I'm the difficult thing Walebia can answer you. Nipano of level 400 is to tell you what that person will do after national service. A difficult because a humano a white thing in fact teachers me call use education. With free education, by my masters and so there be my mirror law in never my profession. adwuma no aya na den ne pay ya na obi abomodin enye adwuma and now there is a communique from the chief of staff indicating that obi ayefa na adwuma bia after the 7th of December no this appointment letter should be revoked. Ohene media fina museumra but me person as a senior lawyer on what law is there a law in this country that the chief of staff can actually give such directive that appointment letter should be revoked? And also you should also help us see a better as say ye to abawia here for crown na pay transition act I think section 14 of it na ko terminously no the president need take you over almost all appointment here affected. Yes. SIC lady no Ayea number affinity SIC lady also the court where you see you say MPP for say there be who believe in NDC for vision akofi NDC for also say unipa for. So what is the position? Who can be sacked? And on what authority did the chief of staff also act? Is there a law of that sort?
First of all, no. Let me say, friends, a latter argument now it relates to say Theophilus Donko case.
Yes.
But the Attorney General of the Supreme Court.
Sure.
See, the Supreme Court referred to say Transitional Reference Act, section 14 of
Transitional
843.
Okay,
fine. And now, can say the board of directors can go. You don't have to find that. The chief executives now on before elections let them go via their terms of employment.
Okay,
they shouldn't go. You see, because they've been employed already. What the Supreme Court actually says on terms of employment, ansana change of government, not all terms of employment, but terms of employment not running. If the terms of employment should even says okay, you can be sacked 3 months in lieu of notice with salary. The terms of employment will be the way to sort of disengage the person.
Okay.
That's what the law is saying clearly. So therefore, if you want to do anything which is inconsistent with the Supreme Court case and the law, the people who are aggrieved by arbitrariness, they can challenge it in court.
Okay.
Maybe believe say any chief of staff no can.
So there is no law of that sort.
No, he hasn't even got the power to say they should go.
Okay.
The chief of staff is not the employer of those who took jobs. Before the 7th of December. It is rather the employer who can tell the employee that in terms of the terms of employment, I've terminated it.
But can the chief of staff, who is virtually the senior housemaster of the government, tell the state agencies, which in one way or the other, they are reporting to him, to the president, through him to the president?
You see,
is that not the case?
You see, he could, if he wants to tell them, maybe then he should tell them privately.
Okay.
You see, because if you are not careful, then you are going to do sacking people en bloc. And that could kick in a lot of damages. Because it's not everybody who is sackable, if there's a word like that.
You see, per this Theophilus, the same case Theophilus Donko, or say, he describes who a public officer is.
Yes.
The case takes out board members and board chairmen out of public officers. So a public officer can be me, I employ no boss.
Sanity.
I'm a public officer.
Sanity.
The case comes to the conclusion that the person can be sacked on just cause. And now many will say Henry Nana Abuakwa through his lawyer Nana Jeba for the member of parliament for Menchia South, the one who replaced Napo. Oma file suit in the Supreme Court seeking some reliefs. I'm here to read the statement of claim and all those things. They are questioning that that they are saying is that they are taking the government on this en bloc sacking, thinking that it is not out of just cause. My point is, obi wo hon so obi first state agency bi wo ha obi tenase ya na yeto abawie na 7 finichi and oba be opi your friend is saying advert rush process na say nipa na am due process no so they said that person can be sacked.
It can be sacked, but it shouldn't come from the chief of staff.
Okay.
You see, because the chief of staff is not the employer.
So the problem is with the chief of staff.
If the chief of staff even engineer this, it makes it worse.
But what
that's a lawless act.
What if the chief of staff goes back again, issues a private communique to these employees to do that?
And if it's grounded in law. So if it's not grounded in law, then whatever might have happened, but it's not a void.
Me read the revocation letter back from VRA to you.
You should. Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to get it from a lady I know. Or say the revocation is a revocation of appointment. We write reference to our offer of appointment made in December 2024, pursuant to directives received from the Chief of Staff in a letter dated 10 February 2025. The offer of appointment has been revoked.
Yes. That is to say, this is not a lawful termination of employment, but this is what we call an employment to the lawless act of the Chief of Staff.
Lawless?
Of course.
That is hard.
Yeah, because you see, every employment is a law arrangement.
Okay.
It's not on just the fiat of a third party. Okay. So it is for the employer to assess a situation and say that, look, I will no longer, require your services. And therefore, in terms of the employment, let me give you 3 months notice so that you pack off and I'll go and let me pay you 3 months salary. It's not because you are being stampeded by the chief of staff or an employer to go and say that I've terminated your contract. So even the reference to the chief of staff will make it easier for people to go to the court and say, no, the chief of staff hasn't gotten the power to do what he did.
On any clarity, I want to know your position clearly. Your point is that the chief of staff has no lawful authority to do so.
Yes.
That is settled.
Yes, that's right.
However, the chief of staff can equally give a private communique or whichever communication you give to the employers whatsoever.
Yes.
To revoke unlawful recruitment, like recruitment, I bet say within the space of those who agree.
So yes, so if the employment is unlawful, then you can revoke it. You understand? But you don't give, marching orders and block that sack people who are employed before the 7th of December.
Okay.
That's lawlessness.
But would you offer pro bono services?
Why not? We stand here as a law firm, not because of commercial appetite only. We do pro bono.
Wow.
We bet me a refi has Ugreska. And that's and I feel so obre. So pro bono, we were educated even in law school, say, yeah, you become. Yeah, pro bono will become. And yes, I would say everything about Atta Akyea is profit and money. That's why you run a law firm. Yeah, you are not a
I reserve about me pay that minyase mama beji pro bono.
Assume for free of charge pa.
Wow.
And also ya na uye ni ya epejaw. Enye osikani nkwa na betumi promote. Ohia ni so to be promote see enye me Atta Akyea here je me dan wa anye me hwe. Na odin so nam. Ofo hu sa no. So pro bono is also part of our human eye.
Sure.
But me here ni say chief of staff with me at Jubilee House. One man, you see, and mass command.
Wow.
Without what I call a situation-specific employment engagement. Now we'll share the 4 corners of employment letter. No, as if you want to me, sir.
But the MPP, sorry for cutting you, but the MPP, through Osafumafu, in his vetting, made this statement. You were on the vetting panel. You didn't comment about this.
About what?
He stated that the MPP had an intention to sack people. See, we will sack them. He made that statement.
When Osafumafu was being
vetted.
Nana said I mean who are parliament to
No, 2017.
2017. Now many committee also.
Now many committee. Okay, so sorry for saying say but he made that statement.
But I don't remember.
I know Atta Akyea the assembly say nanka.
No, I don't.
But now I'm putting it before.
Yeah,
he made that statement.
We'll checkmate him. You see, that's my partner now the way back. You see, because America say bincho, amemo there was expiry date.
Okay.
Near you there was expiry date. We ye ni year, or do you share beko? One year, who do deep on the beko? Because I don't see how say Obega be correct to me. That person titi conform say they are not Ghanaians.
Okay.
Why? Only pani NDC no qualified. I'm a man. Or MPP no not qualified. I'm a man. But you come and say so okay, and then we believe say they want to overburden the exchequer. So I want to sack people and block without going into specifics. Okay, that letter has no legal force, and that letter, together with those who obeyed, those unlawful orders can be challenged.
Because today, the MPP's MP for Swedru constituency, Honorable Kennedy was saying, I'm sure say no your caucus chairman.
Yes.
He's in regional caucus chairman, still maintained as caucus chairman.
Yes.
Yes, that is what I'm being told. He has written on his Facebook wall that Obia Yasaki ni bianca na kumanto na me adom na MPP back power in 2028 or whenever the MPP comes back to power, they are going to reinstate them and backdate, in fact, pay them their back pay of all the periods. You think that is?
I don't know. Right? I don't know whether that is lawful. And whether he's very serious about it.
But he stated it on his Facebook.
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm saying that if it's NDC lawlessness, it remains lawlessness. If it's MPP lawlessness,
you think this is lawlessness?
How can you do that? How can you backdate things?
They are not backdating because any panel are lawfully employed. Any abe pamono. And no say ni pana ya pamono say mfie nine no back